The Land Before Time, the illustrated story. Chapter 9, The Great Valley. Littlefoot realized that they had led Sharptooth to the valley. He knew that the herds would be helpless against the monster, and he and his friend had to stop Sharptooth. Littlefoot noticed a large boulder balanced on the edge of a rock ledge high above the pool of water. "We've got to get Sharptooth away from that high rock before he finds the entrance," he said to the others. "And then we'll have to work together to kill him." "How?" asked Petrie. "We'll coax him to the deep end of the pond here. He can't swim with those scrawny arms." "It's true. He can't swim with those tiny, scrawny arms." "Spike and I will go up to that rock. We'll push it off onto his head. He'll fall over into the water." "Oh, he will be mad," Ducky said, worried. Littlefoot turned to Petrie. "Petrie," he said, "you be the lookout and whistle when he's in just the right spot, where the water gets dark. Is the deepest part." Then he turned to Ducky. "We need someone to be the bait." "Me? Oh, no. Nope, nope, nope," cried Ducky. "Come on, Ducky, you can do it. This is no time to be a scaredy egg." A short time later, Sharptooth found the entrance to the Great Valley. He growled and sniffed the air with evil joy. Just then, a noise behind him caught his attention. Roaring, he whipped around and saw a little big mouth heading for a pool of water. He looked injured. He grunted in satisfaction at the juicy little morsel just waiting to be eaten. He pounded after her in a raging bellow. Ducky's heart was beating faster than it ever had before. She knew that Littlefoot and Spike were near the big rock getting ready to push, and that Petrie was hidden in a crevice above, ready to tell them when. But that didn't stop her legs from trembling. Behind her, Sharptooth was fast approaching. "Faster, Ducky," she said to herself. "Real fast. Yep. She splashed into the pool and quickly swam out to the center. Sharptooth followed close behind, sending up huge sprays of water. Ducky kept on swimming until it was in the deepest part of the pool. Sharptooth closed in on her. Then a shrill whistle caught his attention. It was Petrie signaling. Up above, Littlefoot and Spike were frantically trying to push the rock over onto Sharptooth, but it wouldn't budge. Now Sharptooth went after Petrie. He clawed at the rock wall, sending big chunks of rock splashing into the pool. Sharptooth's attack was weakening the ledge that Petrie was perched on. Suddenly it gave way, and he plunged down into Sharptooth's waiting jaws. Oh dear. The little flyer flapped his wings in frantic fear, but he kept falling. Just as he reached Sharptooth's gushing jaws, he suddenly felt himself rising. He was flying! "Well done, Petrie. You're finally flying, little guy." Sharptooth roared in anger at Petrie's escape and turned to go after Ducky once more. Petrie felt braver now that he could fly, and with a whistle of joy, he zoomed down and pecked hard at Sharptooth's head. Sharptooth snapped his jaw and swiped angrily as Petrie circled and zoomed down to peck at him again. Littlefoot screamed from above, "Get him over the deep part, Petrie!" But Sharptooth ignored Petrie and went after Ducky again. Make up your mind, Sharptooth. Who you gonna go after? Ducky or Petrie? As he opened his jaws for the kill, Ducky saw rows and rows of sharp teeth. Petrie saw what was happening, and he whistled in fury as he once more zoomed at Sharptooth, landing on its head. He put one wing over Sharptooth's good eye and held on for dear life. Sharptooth reeled around in anger as he tried to get the maddening little creature off his face. He butted his head and rubbed it along the rocks. Petrie looked up and saw that Sharptooth was right underneath the rock. "Push rock now!" he whistled. "Yep, now!" cried Ducky. But Littlefoot and Spike still couldn't push the rock over. Petrie was getting tired of holding on to Sharptooth's face, and his wing fell away from the monster's eye. Now that he could see what he was doing, Sharptooth roared in rage and charged at the rock wall and Petrie. As Petrie screamed, someone else did too. From out of nowhere, Sarah appeared. As Littlefoot and Spike pushed with all their might, Sarah let out her battle cry and charged at the rock. It went tumbling over and landed with a loud thud right on Sharptooth's head. With a tremendous splash, the great beast sank into the deep part of the pool and disappeared. Littlefoot and his friend smiled at each other with awe and satisfaction. They had done it, but only as a team. Littlefoot's smile quickly turned into a worried look. "Where's Petrie?" he asked. Uh-oh. I hope he's all right. Poor Petrie, cried Ducky, and everyone felt sad. After a long silence, Littlefoot said, "Petrie was a good friend. He would want us to continue. Come." And he led the little group away from the pool and toward the great valley. Just then they heard a cough and a sigh, and turned to see a soggy Petrie pulling himself onto the rocks. "Petrie, you're safe!" screamed Ducky. Yep. And at that moment, everyone, even Sarah, hugged each other in joy and friendship. A group hug. One of the best types of hugs. "Now we'll always be together," cried Littlefoot. "How long? How long?" whistled Petrie. "Forever," Ducky cried. "Together," said Sarah with a broad smile on her face. "Come on," yelled Littlefoot. "We've waited long enough. Let's go to the Great Valley." A short while later, they found themselves at the entrance to the valley. The view was so breathtaking that they stopped and gasped in disbelief. Rich-looking trees were everywhere, bursting with so much green food that they looked as if they might topple with the weight. Thick emerald grass covered the ground as far as the eye could see, and there were rivers and pools of fresh, clear water. All the herds were there. Big mouths, long necks, three horns, living side by side, peacefully. As they watched, they heard a beautiful song coming from the valley. As the song grew louder, they rushed into the valley, shouting with joy. It wasn't long before they all found their families again, except for Spike. But he was quickly adopted by Ducky's family when she explained that he was her friend forever. Yep. Sarah Littlefoot, Spike, Ducky, and Petrie vowed that there would be no differences between them ever again. They would teach the adults what they had learned. Later, as Littlefoot stood alone on top of a windy hill overlooking the valley, he gazed up at the sky. For a moment, the clouds blew into a familiar shape, and he seemed to hear his mother's voice again. "You have learned to follow your heart," it whispered. "Goodbye, Littlefoot. Don't forget me." "Goodbye, Mother," whispered Littlefoot. "I won't forget you. You will be in my heart forever." He looked out at the great valley once more, and then went down the hill to join his family and friends. And as he did, he could hear his heart singing. And there they are, all playing together in the great valley. And that's the story of how 5 dinosaurs, a long neck, a 3-horn, a spiked tail, a flyer, and a big mouth, made their journey to the Great Valley. I hope you enjoyed The Land Before Time, the illustrated story. If you want to hear the whole story, check out the playlist on my channel. And once again, I hope you enjoyed it. Peace out and see you next time. Bye.